Comeuppance Network. This is how to watch TV.
The Walking Dead with Joel and Jeremy. My name's Joel.
I'm Jeremy. We are brought to you by Comeuppance Network. Check out all of our social media sites at thisishowtowatchtv.com and email us at thisishowtowatchtv@gmail.com.
Yeah, check out all the other Jay and Jack related shows on the Jay and Jack Network, jayandjack.com/network. Go to their Amazon link if you're going to buy any of that Amazon stuff. All the good things you can purchase on the Amazons. 2 days. It'll be there in 2 days. It's still ridiculous. I don't know why I'm doing a commercial for Amazon. Anyway, go to see the other Jay and Jack Network podcasts at jayandjack.com/iTunes, I think.
Okay.
That sounds right.
Anyway.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Speaking of like Amazon and stuff like that, I know I don't get into like commercials, but like, you ever heard of the Ring video doorbell?
The Ring?
It's called the Ring video doorbell. Like, somebody rings your doorbell and a camera pops up on your phone showing you who it is.
No, but that sounds ideal.
Right. Amazing idea. The guy who created it took it to Shark Tank and offered them a 10% stake in his company.
Yeah.
For $750,000.
Okay.
He sold Ring Video Doorbell today to Amazon for $1 billion.
Seems like he did the right thing.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
So we are here to discuss The Walking Dead, a show with decidedly few doorbells.
And even fewer video doorbells.
Right. So, I mean, I didn't get any viewer feedback from the last episode, but, and I guess we'll save it till the end of this one, any feedback we got about this particular episode, till after we've had our discussion of how we enjoyed or didn't enjoy the episode.
Do you have... Oh, yeah, okay.
That viewer feedback.
My viewer feedback.
Specific.
Right.
So overall, I mean, I loved the episode. I've genuinely never cried more in an episode of The Walking Dead. Like, it's never...
I don't think it's ever gotten to that level emotionally.
Right.
I
don't remember being moved that much by any episode of The Walking Dead before.
No. It was a... How do you say? It was kind of a step out of The Walking Dead a little bit. Like... It
really?
Showed a little bit of a softer side. I don't know. Like, it was the longest, most involved death anyone's ever gotten on the show. Granted, it was deserved.
Right.
I mean, like, he should have gotten a whole episode. I get it. But
I mean, didn't we have like 10 hours with Andrea's sister? In season 1, I don't know that it's that out of character for the show be like, because we got a whole Sasha episode, on her death. We tend to get those. I mean, not in the same way.
And like, it wasn't even like I didn't even consider Sasha, but yes, I guess that was kind of the same thing. But like,
when somebody dies, you usually get a little bit too much of them in
right.
that episode or the episode prior. And it's like, oh shit, that's why we got a Glenn episode.
And there was the other stuff. Like they threw in the stuff with King Ezekiel and
right.
the curly head guy. I forget his name now.
The curly head guy?
The guy that's the reluctant.
You eat the mic a little bit.
The
more.
reluctant. The guy who.
The guy that's on the savior side?
Yes,
you always felt like he could come around.
Right, but you always kind of wanted him to die too because he was just sweaty and weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What is his name?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He'll be dead.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He'll definitely be dead at some point.
He's dead. He died in the episode.
The guy that had been making the deals? That was like brokering the deals? I forgot.
The kid stabbed him in the throat with the thing.
Oh, that's right.
When
See, this is why I have notes,
like, he ended up doing the same thing that Carl did.
Right.
Like, remember Carl, like, was explaining laying on his deathbed
story.
saying, like, I got this ugly Band-Aid on my hand. I didn't even realize that.
Oh, yes, people are turning off right now because of the ugly Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Now they're going to see all the ugly Band-Aid sticky stuff.
What the hell, man? What kind of Band-Aid is this?
Yeah, that's the worst.
That was like the worst Band-Aid ever pulled off my hand ever. Just pulled, like, my bald right there now. Holy shit.
This is the best.
Anyway, terrible radio. Going on. Well, no, when he was laying there on his deathbed, kind of like saying like what he regretted, like shooting that kid.
Yeah.
You know. And then we
Well,
witnessed,
was he
like,
saying that? Wasn't he saying that was the moment? Like that was when it turned for him.
I guess
way?
that's why he wasn't. I mean, it was. It
It was like a cauterizing moment for his character. Like it made him a man.
but
sort
at the
of
same
thing.
time,
But it
made
was
him
also-
realize that
it
that
made him
people
humble,
are
or-
important.
Right.
Like,
It made him reflective on it as
Right.
well. It made him
That
self-aware in a way.
he was kind of taking examples from his dad at that point,
Right.
and just being ruthless.
But then once he actually did it, he took pause with that. It was
Right.
just like,
Yeah.
how does this make me feel?
Right.
And yeah, I'm not sure Rick did that so much. How does it
like,
make me
to him-
feel? You know what I mean? Like thinking on his own about.
No, I think Rick
kinda in
has been in
survival
constantly survival mode. That's all
Right.
he's ever in, is survive in advance, just like the March Madness.
So okay, so I feel like we need to go back to the beginning of this episode because it was the flashback to how it happened.
Right.
And remember when we talked about that episode? It was like, how did that not bite him? Do you remember?
Yeah, I
us
do
roughly
remember that.
talking
Yes.
about that?
And like, I think it was a lengthy discussion as well.
Yeah.
Like it was like where they were located, or whatever. And I think we even mentioned, what if Carl got bit? Blah blah blah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but more like a wow, that was close. Not even thinking that it would be possible that he actually
Well,
got
no,
bit.
I mean, like it was like, let's see how many times do we see that though in this show? Oh,
Yeah, a lot.
You know, a lot.
seemingly.
Yeah, you see him fight him a lot. Like it,
Right.
like it seemed like it'd be real easy for somebody to get scratched or something. Like I'd be wearing long sleeves all the time and gloves and shit, like completely
But
covered.
they're in Atlanta, aren't
Yeah,
they?
I know.
Or
so
no, they're
I
in
just
Virginia.
have to get
or
used to being
something?
hot. I'd rather be hot than a zombie.
Hot or zombie? What would you rather be? Would you rather be
Would
hot
you-
or be a zombie?
Would you rather-
Those are the two choices on the table tonight on
wear all-
Z105.9.
Leather from head to toe, or zombie.
So, like I said, we saw how that happened, and then like he was kind of explaining it to his dad in the sewer. I mean, it's very Ninja Turtles-y. It's kind of
Dude, come on, man. That was a funny ass moment last night when
What?
like we were watching it, and it was like he's explaining all that shit, and I was like, okay, here's this. Hey man, I got this box over here that says zombie cure on it, and then we paused it and we were laughing at that, and then we unpaused it, and then the Sadiq goes, I have these.
Yeah, I
It's
have
like, wait a
these.
minute, what's happening?
Yeah, is he actually going? Because he was. I think the idea was that
Right.
Jeremy was thinking, "There's no way they're going to kill Carl. He has to." Live.
I was, well, no, I didn't actually
No, I
believe
know,
that
but-
because of the rules of the show, but it was just a funny kind of joking thing.
Yeah.
Like they would like throw this shitty writing at us and be like, oh no, he's gonna make it because
he'll
of this
survive
miracle.
somehow,
Here, I got
yeah.
this zombie cure in this box right here. Like,
There's no more
that's
in
what
the whole
was,
world,
That was my
yeah.
joke. But then, like right after we unpaused it, Sadiq was like, I have these pills. Like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, where's this going?
I was laughing my ass off. But yeah, I mean, real heartfelt stuff, man. Like the whole episode was.
He went through
His
like
goodbyes and-
his goodbyes to each person.
Right.
That's why he was writing them. I think one of the coolest things is that
I
that was a
thought that
Carl
was awesome.
fantasy.
Like that, like out of the whole episode, like I got like choked up, but like it didn't actually like shed any tears
Right.
until the moment that I realized that's what that was.
Right.
When he explained his dream, and then I was like, oh, it was Carl's fantasy.
It was what Carl wanted, yeah.
And that's when I was like, oh, that's when I started shedding some
when
tears.
when I saw Rick on the porch, or because I thought for some reason he was on a porch with that prism thing that was like flashing on his face. Obviously, that didn't end up being.
It was
on a
the stained
porch.
glass. It was the
Right.
hanging windows from the tree. Like, who the fuck does that?
Right. I thought he was on a porch at the time
Right,
because
that's
they were
what it
in
looked like.
Alexandria.
Yeah.
And this time it's like, oh shit, I get what that means now. Now they showed us early in season 8 that Carl died.
They did. They showed us. They
That was in the first episode, I believe.
that they were because I remember discussing like what was the differences between the two like flashes we were getting.
With the
were, was
timelines
like
and shit, yeah.
the bearded Rick in the. But I think the fuzzy overlay over all of that was always
That's
indicating
dream
that
straight,
that was
yeah.
a dream. But then we just assumed that it was Rick's dream, and then it would cut to Rick sweaty and eyes red, crying. You know,
Yeah.
like. Yeah, man, we saw him right after he buried Carl. Like that was like one of the first scenes in season 8 was right after they buried Carl. Like if you really think about it,
I don't know. I don't know how that's not good enough for somebody. You know what I mean? Like that's such interesting shit.
that they flashed around like that.
I love the little things like that. That's one of those. My favorite things about Lost was decoding that puzzle. You know, and like seeing this thing dropped here, and then it doesn't pay off for a long time. Oh, and then boom, it's back, and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, oh
Yeah.
my god, you know, and it makes perfect sense. But
One of my thinking about that, one of those like revelation moments when the airplane you always knew was there, and then Echo's like, my brother was on that plane. And you're like,
yeah, right.
what the?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what are
that
you
was one of
talking
my
about?
favorite moments in
Yeah.
that show. I remember being blown away by that.
Right,
Like,
all of
how
those
did they
little-
connect all of that? That doesn't even make sense. Like, it makes
Right.
sense, but it doesn't make sense how they were able to pull that off.
It's
But yes, I totally agree with you about being
them
putting the
sprinkling
puzzles
shit like,
together and like
this
doing
is
the,
a well-written show.
It
Is
is.
it super riveting all the time? No. Is any show? Maybe some. But I mean, even Game of Thrones has its moments. Even Lost had its moments. Nobody loved Jack getting his tattoos.
There better be no
Thailand.
moments in the upcoming Game of Thrones stuff.
You say upcoming like it's imminent. It's fucking a year away.
Right, but there better be no moments.
It's a year.
There better be
and
no
a month away.
Are we gonna get a filler episode? If we get a filler episode, we'd be pissed the fuck off.
I mean,
Anyway, this is not a Game of Thrones.
right? Sorry, yeah. But I guess what I was getting at is I feel like people are unfair on Walking Dead for some reason as far as critiquing it.
People are unfair on everything.
Right. Okay. Maybe people are just trolls.
I mean, like I mean, isn't that most of it? Like, people are finding like the super like tiniest critical thing to be like upset about, and then to go way over the top on Twitter.
yeah,
Like,
fair
it's
enough.
just it shit gets old to me. Like, I don't even pay attention to half of that shit. This is why I'm not on social media, because
I just
would
try to
be
enjoy the
biggest
stuff I
troll,
love.
because I would be trolling the trolls, and I wouldn't be able to help myself.
Right. Yeah. It's tough to resist.
It is.
It's a
It's
full-time job
It's
to
taken
resist.
me years of training to not respond to that
Right.
fucking bullshit. Right.
Absolutely. So then, I mean, what else happened in this one? Oh, okay. So we see Morgan's point of view from the watchtower,
Right.
to getting shot at, to barely making it out of there, to then going to the kingdom. Is that where he ended up meeting up with Carol at?
Right. Or somewhere around the kingdom.
And
Like
then they decided to go into the kingdom even though it was being bombed? Or was it just that
No,
was
well,
the kingdom not being bombed? That
No, it was just being
Alexandria.
taken over. That was Alexandria who was being bombed. The kingdom had curly-haired, sweaty dude. I can't think of his
Curly-haired,
name, man. I can't
sweaty
even, it's like
dude.
right there. It's like a weird name.
God damn
I
it!
can't
Now I'm
think of
gonna
it.
have to look him up.
But anyway, they were taking over the town. Remember, like kind of basically putting all of the king's people into like he's gonna kill King Ezekiel in front of everybody, basically.
right.
Like he was like super putting it off. Like he was super hesitant about it because he's a pussy. The
Sorry, I'm trying to find this stupid guy's name real quick. I mean, why has there not been a name that just says what it is? It just says sneaks up behind the savior and stabs him through the neck. God damn it, that's not helpful.
that guy has a name.
Who
It's
cares?
not just the savior.
He's dead.
Right.
He's
Okay.
dead.
Anyway,
It doesn't matter.
The guy
anymore.
who's always so reluctant about like,
Right.
you had your chance and now it's over, and then he's like threatening the whole episode and like
Right.
doesn't do shit because he's,
Yeah.
he's
He's
a
kind of a
sad sack.
pussy, yeah.
Right. So that happens, and like Carol, she's as brutal as ever. She's
I mean, she's a
she's
badass.
a warrior, dude,
Yeah.
and it's awesome. Her transformation of character has probably been the biggest in the whole entire show.
Right.
Like gone from battered housewife to don't fuck with Carol.
Well, yeah, because somebody was like, "Oh, and what? You're going after all of them? They don't stand a chance."
They don't stand a chance. Right. That was the chick with the I don't know her name either. She was afraid of the tiger.
Oh,
She was
I
one of
don't
King
remember.
Ezekiel's people.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know her name. She was like the garden keeper.
Right.
Right. I had this itch on my leg. will not subside. No matter how much I scratch
On his leg, folks. It's on his leg. Let's see what else. They ended up getting King Ezekiel out of the kingdom, right? Or did they get him out of the kingdom? No, Carol killed everybody in the kingdom.
They killed everybody in there. Her and Morgan killed everybody.
Oh, that's right.
They
and then the last one was the guy, and the kid shoved the stick through his neck.
Right, doing the same thing that Carl was talking about.
Right.
On his deathbed.
Right.
Like pretty much concurrently.
Yeah.
Like that was. Like they were
Yeah,
back and forth through those things.
that was good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. So
I liked that they took Carl out of that sewer.
Yeah.
It was just weird. I was like, I in the back of my mind, I was like, you really gonna let your kid just die in this fucking sewer? Like, I get there's others extenuating.
Well, they had to wait until everything died down.
I get, but like, I liked that they took him out.
So where was everybody going?
They were leaving Alexandria. They had to.
I
They're
know,
going to
but-
Hilltop.
Oh.
He said they're going to Hilltop. Don't you remember what Daryl said?
No, I didn't catch what Daryl was saying. That's what
He said almost the same thing as what the chick said, but on the opposite end of it. Somebody said we shouldn't all be in one place together, all of us in one place. Daryl said, yes, all of us in one place will be their worst nightmare.
Right.
Right. I like that line. You know, all of us together.
Right, but I'm thinking they could blow you all up and y'all be dead.
I mean,
they aren't that special anymore. That's the thing. Like, yes, they're special in the sense that
who is
the group. They're not that special in the big sense, in the big scheme of things, except that they keep surviving and killing everything that gets in their path.
They keep finding a way, man. Right.
But like, they're not special enough to where Negan isn't going to just at some point be like, fuck it, and blow them all up.
The only special about them is the fact that the cameras are following them. And that's the group of characters we're watching.
Right.
You could actually, like you said, this universe, you could take your camera crew, you know, and put it anywhere and have interesting stories to tell.
Anywhere where there's living people.
Right. That's what I meant. Like that's what I meant. Like anywhere where there would be like, because you know there's scattered civilizations of people all over the place.
Anybody who's still alive probably had an interesting
story. They keep running into
story.
people everywhere they go. They keep running into some sort of group of people. The prison, the governor, Negan's people, the W people.
Right.
You know, they're everywhere. So like I said, you could put the cameras behind the W people and follow them.
Yeah, the wolves.
You know, like that would be.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you're saying they're not special in the grand scheme of things in this world. No, you're totally correct.
No, I mean,
it's just
in
that
terms
we're following
of, like,
them, and
to
they
Negan. Like, he keeps trying to save them, like they're worth something. Like he needs a Daryl.
Well, that's because he keeps saying that. That's what he does.
I know.
He keeps telling his people that that's what he does.
He's a savior,
people.
right?
We're the saviors.
But he's at
So he
some
has to
point he's
uphold
going to
that.
be done with that.
Well,
you
I
think
mean,
he's going to just stick to that and keep trying to save
No,
them?
I don't think he's trying to do that now. I think he's at the point of kill everybody. I think that was the grenading, the Alexandria part of it.
I mean, it's just,
they were just not there.
taking one area away.
How many grenades can they have? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me either.
There's a lot of grenades.
I mean, really? And who's making grenades?
Eugene? I mean, these...
Now, these aren't just necessarily like hand grenades. These are grenades that they're shells that are fired out of like a grenade launcher, like a gun.
Oh,
like that's what they're all standing and firing the grenade launcher.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. In theory, if they get out, well, how long do we think Eugene's been making weaponry?
I don't think he started that yet.
But he is, because
because
shot 1 million bullets.
But that was the reason they were able to get out. That was the reason Eugene said it was okay for them to shoot their way out, was because he could make more bullets. He hasn't started doing that yet, as far as we know. They haven't shown him going and start making bullets.
I took that to mean that they had already supplied, but no,
No,
that was
man.
a time confusion there because they hadn't left yet.
That was his plan.
That was them getting out.
His plan was, if we shoot our way out and use up all of our ammo, I can make more. I know where we can make more, because he knows where that machine shop was.
So in theory, he could be making bullets and eventually learning how to do.
But not that fast enough for them to have 10,000 grenades to launch over the walls of Alexandria. No way, man. They got in their trucks and headed straight out. Like, this is all a matter of a couple of days. This isn't weeks or months, I don't think. Like, from when Morgan got shot up, and Morgan watched them shoot their way out, like, I think we're a day or so past that, if that.
Maybe even the same night.
Like, this war is all taking place
Yeah.
pretty fast. I don't think it's weeks or... like, we don't get much of a sense of time in this show, but, like, it's only been a couple of days, man. I'm guessing. And
Right, I mean,
the
unless
timeline-
that's what they had. Yeah, I didn't realize how quick this was all happening, but you're right. That they
That's
couldn't-
what we were discussing.
They couldn't have gotten out that morning, gone and set up a machine to start making bullets,
and
mass
found the
produce them.
materials to make the bullets.
Well, I mean, they could. Let's say they had everything ready to go.
Still,
There's no way.
no.
Not enough for them to be going and blowing shit up the way they did. But
Okay, I guess we'll have to buy it.
right.
Suspend disbelief at
Right.
this point.
So
'Cause-
yeah, I don't know. But I'm interested. I was so interested in that storyline when they brought it up because it was like, oh shit, let's just do that. I'd watch a whole episode of that.
Of what?
Them manufacturing shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like making at the time when they
I mean,
first
that was
brought it
like
up.
a long time ago. Like
It was like
that.
season 6.
That Eugene and Abe found that shop, which has got to still be in close proximity to everything they're doing. They weren't, you know,
Right. I don't think they moved that far down
No.
the road from that.
I don't
so.
think they have either. They just kind of kept it in their hip pocket, and now it's coming to light.
Right.
You think Eugene's fully gone?
I don't think he was ever not gone. Yeah, I think he's gone.
You think he's totally Negan?
Yeah.
Sucks.
Sucks?
Yeah.
No, he's totally self-survival guy.
Yeah, but like, he turned on the group, dude.
Oh yeah, he's done with the group.
Yeah.
There's not. I mean, although in Carl's fantasy, he
Eugene-
was there,
So was Negan.
right?
How you doing, darling?
Yeah.
Like, that was fucking weird and creepy.
I almost would like to see it,
I want to see it too.
but I don't want them to stay in Alexandria forever, like, or Hilltop or whatever. Like, I'm sorry, this show is best when they're moving.
Well, that was because it was constant chaos. They're trying to find some semblance of order. Some,
No,
you know,
but the
like,
places they stop are so boring. I'll give it that.
like,
I'm talking in
really,
general.
what's this? Almost like 2.5 seasons in Alexandria now.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I mean, and I get we're seeing other places, Hilltop, the Kingdom, Negan's compound, all that shit, but and the outposts, you know, the
Right.
satellite outposts, all that shit. I don't know. Like, that's the only part of it that I could see somebody being critical of this show. I liked the Michonne and Carl were best friends thing.
Like, yeah, that was that was a pretty tough goodbye, man.
Right.
Like,
Right, because her admitting that he was her best friend was touching too, because it was
Right.
like, yeah, no, that actually makes sense. Like, who
Right.
else would she be able to...
right. When they were joking around with the candy bars and
Yeah.
this and that. Yeah, I mean,
You saw me
she's
eating the
almost
pudding,
like,
right?
huh?
You saw me eating the pudding on the roof.
Yeah.
Or no, that was in that promo. I don't know if I sent that to you. They did an
You were telling me
awesome.
about
They did an awesome promo where it was a highlight reel of Carl, like the cliff notes of Carl's journey.
Oh yeah.
Like him starting real young, and I mean, just like it was like a minute and a half, but it was
Yeah,
like
he's a
all
little
the
kid,
Carl
man.
stuff. It was really good.
Right.
So we should watch that after this.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say about Carl's.
Departure.
Yeah, the way he went out makes perfect sense.
I know.
Although I was just hoping that they were going to wait it out
Dude,
for some
listen.
reason.
Like, not that I like that Carl's gone, but I like how they did it. With it being just all of this shit going on. The Saviors, they're fighting a war,
Right.
and they take us back to like the very basics of
For a death, you mean?
the zombie.
Right.
He got bit.
Right.
He just got bit. And like right away, Rick's like, "Oh, the Saviors, I'm gonna get." Carl's like, "No, I got bit. It's
Yeah.
I was trying to bring somebody back, and I got bit. I fucked up and got bit.
Ugh.
Like that was it. Like that's. It's just like, holy shit,
But
that
okay,
can still happen.
yes, it can, and
You know what I mean? Like I think we lost. Like we were lost. That was lost on us for a little while. I think.
Right.
we knew it in the back of our heads that if somebody gets bit, they turn into a zombie. But like,
It's been a while.
it's been a while.
since-
It's all these fantastic things with like Negan capturing people and the whole public display of cut your son's arm off and all that intensity and.
We've had humans as a big threat for a while now.
Yes,
It's
and then
reminding
just
us of the Walker threat.
he got bit. Just simply fell down and fucked up and got bit, and then it's gone. It's craziness, man.
Well, but before he was gone, he was the most organized and thoughtful person with his time. Like, I was so jealous of that. Like, I wish I could just do that on a regular basis.
Well, you do.
He made the rounds. Like, he made the rounds to everybody.
Yeah.
Like, he was hanging out with Judith, and they're on the porch doing hand paints, so, like, Rick's gonna see that, maybe. That'll be left in the rubble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and he'll be able to pick it up and, like, take it with him or something.
all the notes. Like, he did all the things, and he was just enjoying the sun hitting his face. Like, he was smelling the roses, so to speak. And it was cool to see somebody, how could you be so calm? He must have been preparing for this. He must have known this was an eventuality and had an idea of what he would do if he only had 2 days left or a day left. I think he's seen
so many of his friends or people around him die and things like that that he was mature enough to somewhere in the back of his mind mentally prepare for that to happen.
Because, I mean, he was way too organized. To have the plan, he had to have had something in place in advance. I wanted to get to the viewer feedback on this episode. We only one person told us how they felt about the episode, and it was an unsolicited opinion.
Tell me
what you heard.
It was my buddy that I work with, and like I said, me and Joel, we watched the episode together last night, and like I think my initial reaction was like, wow, that was like one of the best episodes of Walking Dead we've had in a while.
In a long time. It was really good. It was super connected emotionally.
I thought it was awesome, but like. We were just working, like we were working on a truck, and my Robert just like, man, Walking Dead came back and it fucking sucked, man. I was like I was completely taken aback by his perception of what he saw. Like we saw it, and we were like, wow, that was really good. He saw it, and he was like, I can't stand this soft ass shit. Does it really take a whole episode for Carl to die? Just die. I was like, wow, dude, like you have no heart.
Right, because that's going to fuel these characters going forward.
Like that's
going to push their. I mean, it's going to impact every decision they make going forward. Their trajectory is changing now because Carl's gone.
Yeah,
like something it's going to alter everything. So let them relish in it for an hour. I'm cool with that.
I was okay with it. I think it turns Rick into something else, man. And like I know that he still has Michonne,
but he's been turned into something else already.
But I think he goes to another level at this point.
You don't think he honors what Carl said?
Well, and tries to make peace with Negan? No shot. No chance.
I mean, that would be a change. All I'm saying is he's already been at Negan's throat. If we're talking a real change for Rick, that would be a change. For him to try to come to peace terms with Negan.
Do we really want to watch that?
No.
I don't want to see that.
I'm not saying I want it to happen, but...
Okay.
It's just a thought.
Here's another question. Take that question a step further.
Go on.
Would you want to watch the show as if it were Carl's fantasy? We don't want to see that. Everybody living happily ever after. That's
an end game show.
At the end.
Yeah, but it could still build to that potentially.
Yeah, it could. But like what I'm saying is like if you make.
I don't want that for the ending either necessarily. I don't know what I want the ending to be. I'd rather have Rick's ending, but that's torturous because then he's going to live the rest of his life, and
I can see now a Negan being. I guess I don't know too much about like how everybody else feels about Negan as far as the character goes. Is he fairly popular? I mean, all the T-shirts and the toys and everything, people are fucking buying that shit up, right?
Well, I'll put it this way. Before he came on the show, people were talking about him like they were excited for his character to debut. And then when he did, there were some complaints about potentially the way he was portrayed versus how he was in the comics, blah, blah, blah. That's all I got on Negan. I don't know if he's loved or hated at this point. I don't think it's universal one way or the other.
Okay, so
I think
can you
people
see
feel
him
like
as
it's
a
moving
character
along slowly.
being good enough of a character to be in the show as a part of the group at some point? Like they have
It would
to,
be interesting.
Like,
It
at
could
some
be-
point, they're like, I
could
know
be.
this happens in a lot of different movies and a lot of different shows where the two mortal enemies have a common enemy. Whatever that common enemy may be, a horde of zombies, another more powerful group, which seems hard to believe at this point because then you're going with there's always a bigger fish thing, and like that gets old really fast.
Right. But they could go after more guns. They could
And
always
then
do that
lose
fresh
the guns,
storyline.
and then get them back, and then lose them again. Yeah, but what I'm saying, like, what if they actually do what Negan's kind of been saying, and work together, but under Rick's rule?
I mean, there's no way that Rick is going to relinquish control to Negan ever again.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that Negan.
Yeah, but I also don't think that's going to happen. Negan would then be perceived as a bitch. You notice he wasn't wearing his leather jacket in Rick's fantasy or in Carl's fantasy.
Right.
He was just
was
regular
wearing,
guy.
like,
He was
yeah.
wearing like a flannel.
Right.
You know, that's
So do you
that's
think
all
that
part
even
of that
fantasy
character.
that like that Carl had some sort of respect or admiration for Negan in any way?
Okay, well,
Since they had
put
that
yourself in the
interaction
mind
together?
of a kid that age. How old are we thinking Carl is?
12, 13, 14 maybe?
I mean, he's got stubble. 14, 15?
I mean, is he supposed to be that old in the show? I don't think that's
I don't
like-
know how old he's supposed to be. I'm just saying, it's like he's got to be.
Okay, so 14, 15 years old, yeah.
Think about how you would feel as a kid that age, and you get taken by this guy, and he's charming and
Charismatic, right?
complimentary. Yes, charismatic is the term I was looking
Right.
for. And he's complimentary of you, and he thinks you're a badass. That's gonna stroke your ego a little bit.
I think so.
You're too young to know better.
Be able to fend that off, right.
So, yeah, I think he probably has some not.
And like the whole Negan act has a sense about it that it's hard to read him and see whether he's talking to you seriously or not, because he's always got that fucking smirk
Right.
on his face, like
Right.
you know, he could be being sarcastic and not, so it's hard to read him there. But so yeah, I mean, like Carl's probably eating that shit up a little bit,
Yeah,
you know.
I don't know. Because he also killed a lot of his friends. So like
But Carl was already a badass at that point too, though. Carl had already been through some shit.
right,
Like it wasn't like he was naive to the world around
right. He had
him.
to kill his mother while
Right,
she
I mean,
gave
like, he
birth,
was-
and yeah,
He was pretty battle hardened. Carl was, you know, even at the point where he was taken by Negan. I mean, he went there. Like he wasn't taken. He like
oh, that's right,
he went there to try to get Negan.
right, huh. I guess I meant just to that meeting. It was
Right.
like, come in this room and let's talk. You could have this kind of thing. I don't know. He was trying to. I bet you Negan just wanted a son. You know, like he liked that idea. Because he even said,
I have a protege, kind of something to,
he said,
unload his
he said if I had a
manifestos on?
kid,
Yeah.
I'd want him to be just like Carl.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hell of a compliment, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, do you think
What
I don't
else?
know, man. Maybe Carl's death does have some sort of effect on Negan.
Maybe.
Because you remember,
Because he didn't do it, too.
but you remember Carl, he had Negan for a second there. Remember before he fucked him over?
Right.
And then he's like, you little shit. And then he started launching the bomb. But he had him thinking twice for a second. Is this what you wanted?
Right.
Like, is this your idea? This, what you're doing right now? Is this what you want? Remember that?
Yeah.
Last season?
Yeah.
So, like, he...
Well,
so maybe
first half.
First half. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, first half of the season.
Yeah.
So maybe Negan does have a soft spot. Maybe Carl's death's in some way... Like, Negan's like, you know, oh, Carl died? Oh. Rick, man, I'm sorry, dude. You
Right,
know,
like, not even by
you
our
know what I mean?
hands.
Like it was
he
just
got
a
bit.
thing that happened that just, oh, fuck, man, that sucks.
I bet
you
you, he
know?
doesn't. I bet
You
you.
know, hey, what do you say? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm being dorkish about it, you know, but you know,
Right.
like, what if that is the thing that does end up bringing them together in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if I want to see that though. I want to see Negan get his brains beat in by Lucille. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, that's what you want to see.
I want to see Rick beat him to death with Lucille.
So what else did Robert say?
And it was basically just like what did you call? What was the word you used? Machismo. Like.
He likes the
Fucking,
testosterone fueled badassery.
Robert would never fucking cry at a movie. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't be pushed to that emotion.
No.
And I'm not saying that he's a bad guy or anything like that.
No, but it's very much
me
a
and you
thing.
both have sons. We both have a son
kids,
of our own.
yeah.
We have children of our own. And more specifically to the show, we both each have a son.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any kids or a wife or anything like that. He lives a bachelor. He lives on his own.
Right.
So, like, I can kind of see his perspective on it. Like, wow, this whole emotional stuff doesn't interest me.
Right. Yeah, because I mean,
let's
at that
get on
age,
to the rest of the show.
At that age and status in life, and I'm not meaning that as one's higher than the other. Just simply at that place in one's life, you yourself are the most important thing, and like you can't even fathom how it shifts when you have kids. Like it's not like this conscious thing either, and I'm not trying to be
decision that you make.
I'm not trying to be cheesy about it and
not,
be like,
but it just has
kids
and
make
at some
life
point in
better.
time when you're like, oh wow, yeah,
it's just
they're more important than me most of the time.
And it's not even that so
I know
much
what you
as
mean,
like
though. I get it.
So much as like the emotional component is there more so when Carl was talking to Judith. That was like
yeah, that's at one point at the point where I didn't like tear up, but like I started.
Oh
to,
no,
like,
tears were streaming
I
down
started
my
to
face.
get like misty eyed, like when they were doing the handprint thing. Like
yeah,
but dude, like I don't know what it was
when he
about,
gave
like,
her the hat.
Yeah. I don't
mean,
know what it was about, like realizing, like, and then him explaining the hat.
That was
and,
the
like,
best,
how it made
man.
him feel. Like
it made me feel safe, and it made me feel like that,
like
and,
dad, like
yeah.
I was strong. And now hopefully it'll do the same for you.
Yeah, I mean that was
the fake
right
cry with Judith, kind of at the end, ruined that moment a little bit for me.
What her
like,
cry? Oh yeah,
like
the fake.
It was
her
like
crying,
a fake her crying.
And they took
like,
her away from him.
Like
yeah.
she wasn't really crying. Like
no, you could tell.
Well, she had no. A kid that age doesn't have that emotional capacity.
Right.
To understand that, oh wow, I'm really sad that this is happening and I'm gonna cry now because
I'm never gonna see him again.
She doesn't have that.
She doesn't even have object permanence yet.
Right.
If you take something and put it behind your back, she forgets it ever existed.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that like.
Well, but that's a good point. Like
it ruined that like I was teary eyed. A little bit like misty eyed, like maybe like a tear about to fall down, and then the fake cry kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah.
What's up now?
Nothing.
I thought you looked at the phone and something else was going on.
Oh no, everything's good. I was just, I get why people could be detached from something like that if you don't have that thing.
Attachment.
I mean,
if you don't have that attachment.
Yeah, that's just the way that it is. I mean, I can cry at nothing if it's some sort of parental and parental kid connection or any moment like that where somebody says something really honest, like it just happens, and I have no problem crying. I always feel good after a good cry.
It's I don't know, I can't explain it either, but like stupid shit like I don't know, like in movies and TV shows makes me like messed up, and it doesn't even have to be sometimes like an emotional thing like that. This is really stupid. But
Go on, we're in it now.
Yeah, I know, but like
fucking dive in.
What like
therapy hour with Joel and Jeremy.
Even dumb shit like the Avengers, like. I don't know, like when the Hulk like hulks out, like in the it's just like an iconic scene in that movie,
right?
I don't, and sometimes it's not like, oh wow, that's really sad, but it's like, wow, that's awesome. Like
I know
I don't know how to explain that feeling. It's not sadness, but it's just like
it's not sadness. It's like when I'm watching Raw. And everybody starts chanting for Daniel Bryan when it's not about him, but they make it about him, and then you just see like his reaction to it, and like you feel like, imagine if I was that guy and I was getting that reaction. Holy fuck! And then the flood of emotions, and then boom, you're
Right.
there.
Like,
and
yeah,
that's
dude,
how
like-
you're tearing up at something like that. You're
That
like,
or-
that's so awesome.
There's a scene.
But like the way you described that was me with wrestling,
Right,
and why
okay.
I tear up at shit like that.
Football for me.
People getting the reaction
Dude,
they should
like,
be getting.
I can promise you, like, if the Bears ever win a Super Bowl in my lifetime,
Yeah.
I will be a blubbering fucking idiot.
Oh, the
No,
Cubs. I mean, I was blubbering
yeah,
over the Cubs.
and I'm not even that big of a baseball
And I don't even
fan.
care, yeah.
You don't even care. You're less of a baseball fan than I am. And
I loved me some baseball
but the
growing
Bears,
up.
like,
but
that's my team. Like, dude, if they win a Super Bowl, I'll be a blubbering fool. But there's this scene that if I see it, it kind of gets me every time, and it is Bill Cowher. He was the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers for a really long time.
Okay.
And he didn't win a Super Bowl for a really long time as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
And when he finally did win one, him standing on the sideline, and he like looks behind him and sees them coming with the Gatorade cooler, and he just turns around and he goes,
Right.
like,
just
fucking give it to me. I've been
accepts
waiting
it.
for this my whole fucking life.
Right.
Give it to me. Like
Right.
that, seeing him like turn around, like that
Right.
gets me when I see
Right.
that scene. Like, it makes me tear up a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost the same thing. Like that reaction, like, you fuck, I'm not dodging this. I've fucking
Yeah,
been
this
waiting for
is
this. Please pour it over my shoulders.
Embracing your,
Right.
you know, what you've worked towards
Right.
your whole
It was
life. and
it's awesome.
Getting,
Like, nobody wants
yeah.
to be covered in Gatorade.
Yeah.
But like that moment, like
Right.
I've seen other coaches like they run from it or like, oh, it's so cold, you know. But he was just like
Yeah. Fucking
it
bring
was
on.
awesome. It's an awesome.
This
scene
is
to me.
what I've been working for.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess
Right.
this is all part of the reward. for
Right.
it. So, I mean, again, I think the point was that if you're not letting shows move you to the point of tears or laughter or joy or sadness, then what's the point of these shows?
Dude, I'm not saying that his perspective on it, like, I'm not trying to say that it's wrong.
No, of course not. It's just a
But
perspective.
it's just a different perspective, and it was so funny to me because like as he started to talk, last night's episode of Walking Dead, like I expected him to be like, oh, it was pretty good, blah blah, but he was just like, it fucking sucked. Like I was like, wow, like
Yeah,
that's
what?
the opposite end of what I thought you would say. Like
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, and it was just a weird thing. But I guess I can understand where he's coming from. I guess
Right.
I don't, you know.
Well, I mean, where do we go from here, you think, on the episodes?
I don't know, man. I'm interested to see how Rick handles this.
What do you think their plan is? Is it you think they're going after him?
I'm almost done. I will be home in a minute.
There's nothing to eat.
I'm almost done. I'll be home in a minute.
Oh, there's nothing to eat.
Okay. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I think
I mean, Daryl and them are going where? Hilltop, you said. So, I mean, what do you think the next move is here?
Well, I think Rick and Michonne and everybody meets up at Hilltop like their plan was, and they become Negan's worst nightmare. And they fight the rest of this war. They have to. Like, listen, they're in the middle of this shit now. Like, I get that Rick's son died, but he doesn't have time to deal with it right now. Like, he
I mean, they already took it. They already took the time they have.
I guess.
That's it.
But that's all they have. Like,
Yeah.
he can't grieve for 7 days wrapped up in a blanket on his couch. Like, he doesn't have time for that.
Right, there's no
you know what I mean? Like,
seeing
he has-
Carl in a white dress on a
like,
balcony.
No, he has to go. I'm trying to piece together the reference. I
Lori.
can't.
In
Oh,
the
okay.
prison.
Right. He can't do that. Like, he has
If
to
they
get his shit
do that,
together.
if they show Carl in a white
Yeah.
dress on a upper stair part
They
thing.
like he has to get his shit together and finish this battle that he started.
Well, I mean, but that's what
And now his
Carl's
plan-
telling him not to do. Carl's saying, I don't want you to kill everybody. There has to be a way forward after this, after the fighting.
And he's right.
But so how the fuck did they get there?
See, I think Rick's path to that
Uh-huh.
is killing Negan.
Just Negan?
Just Negan. And basically
And then what,
taking
becoming
over,
Negan?
but not in the same sense.
But
Like, he wouldn't be like,
he's
you're gonna
changed
give-
with every
but he's-
win, man.
But you know, come on, he's not going to be like, you're giving us your stuff.
What do you mean? He said
Half-
that to the garbage people twice. That's how he was with them. He's like, you're giving me this, or
I'm talking about the way Negan was like, half of what you find belongs to me.
right.
Like, I don't see Rick doing that. I see Rick being like, we're all going to work together here. And what you don't have and I have, I'll share with you in
Right.
exchange, in even
I'd
exchange
like
and
to
trade.
think that.
Like, I don't think Rick would go full Negan on everybody. Like, I am Rick.
I feel
don't
like
think
each
that-
time
I'm
he's
Pickle Rick. Like, I don't think like that's not happening.
each
man.
time he's won, though, he's become slightly more ruthless. I mean, he bit a dude's throat out at some point.
That was
you
a
know?
long time ago too, though. But
Right.
like,
You know what I
that
mean?
was
Just
even
like-
that was dude's dumbass fault, though. Like, what are you doing?
Right. How you let me get
Like,
close
how
enough
did you
that I
let him
can
get close enough to bite your
throat?
fucking throat out?
Ugh.
Right.
Yeah, what are we talking about there?
Right.
Anyway, we'll be
Right.
back next week to talk about episode 810.
Right. 9.
No, this was 9.
Right. This was 9. 8, 10.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't even remember the name of this episode, but it was probably like Rest in Peace, Carl. Let me see that. We'll end on
Rest
that.
in peace, Carl.
Let's see what the episode was called. Honor.
Honor.
And then the next episode called, we'll be back next week to discuss The Lost and the Plunderers.
Okay.
Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on iTunes. There's a new feed for The Walking Dead with Joel and Jeremy. You can find the How to Watch TV video podcasts on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/comeuppance. And
Smash that like button.
This is how to watch TV.
see you later.
All these memories in my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.